hopefully that appears for everyone. Yeah, my name is Iain Hamlin, and I've been part of a campaign to protect the Ardeer Peninsula from development for about 15 years. The campaign consists of various local naturalists and various environmental NGOs, for example, Scottish Wildlife Trust, RSPB, Wildlife and Butterfly Conservation. And we've come together to protect Ardeer from development because it's really the last large chunk of wild, undeveloped land left on the Ayrshire coast. The rest of the Ayrshire coast has been developed for housing estates, golf courses and industry. So Ardeer is really the only thing that's left, and we're keen to do all we can to save it. And we've done various things in the attempt to save it. We've engaged with the media. We've lobbied the relevant stakeholders, the landowners, the council, the government. We've pursued various legal and planning routes. We've done public talks. We've run community surveys to demonstrate community support for conservation at Ardeer. But perhaps the most important thing we've done is biological recording. Going out there for 15 years, finding out what wildlife is there, particularly what rare wildlife, building up species lists, and using that as the basis for a request to the Scottish Government to protect Ardeer, to protect it as a SSSI, a site of special scientific interest. So I'm going to talk just for 2 or 3 minutes about some of the rare creatures that we found there, which have formed the basis of our request for protected status. One of the interesting things about Ardeer is that it hosts a suite of rare dune vertebrates which are restricted to western dunes. An example is this one here. This is a polyester bee called Colites floralis, and it's restricted in Britain to dunes and macular in the extreme northwest. It's mainly a Hebridean bee, but there's a large outpost in the Ayrshire coast, and it's one of the commonest bees at Ardeer in June and July. Another example of a rare western dune invertebrate is the nationally scarce hawkfly, Humerus sabulonus, and it's found in Britain in dunes from Devon in the south up to Ardeer in the north. And again, at Ardeer, it's a very abundant species at this time of year. A final example of the western dunes invertebrate assemblage is this clown beetle or hister beetle, Hypococcus rugiceps. It feeds on detritus and carrion and sometimes in dung, and it's found in Britain only in dunes from Wales in the south up to the Isle of Coll in the north. Ardeer is also very important for southern dune invertebrates. One reason for this is because if you go up the west coast, north from Ardeer, you don't reach another dune system for an awful long way. So Ardeer is the northernmost outpost for a great many species. Another reason why it's so good for southern invertebrates that don't reach any further north in Scotland is because of the industrial legacy. It's because there's lots of concrete areas, there's lots of artificial landforms, which, for example, unnaturally called dunes, have been made into embankments that provide lots of shelter and create very warm microclimates, and that allows southern invertebrates to survive at Ardeer and very few other places in Scotland. An example is this bee here. This is a polyester bee called Colites flodiens, and Ardeer is the northernmost site for the species in Britain. It's found only one other site in Scotland because it's just too cold any further north. Another example of a southern dune invertebrate at Ardeer is Ecolus cruciger. It's a type of cuckoo bee that's only known from a few warm sites in the Ayrshire coast, Ardeer being the northernmost, and one site through in Dunbar. And the final example of a southern dune invertebrate is another cuckoo bee, Sphecodes pellucidus. It's known from only a few southern dune sites in Scotland, Ardeer being one of them. And at this time of year, there are tens of thousands crawling around, flying around, real concern at Ardeer. So these are just a few examples of the great many rare creatures that exist at Ardeer, and we've documented an awful lot of them, and they form the basis of our request to the government, to Nature Scot, to protect Ardeer as a SSSI. We made that request in the second half of last year, and the government are dragging their heels a bit, but we hope that later this year they'll make a determination, and we hope that they will decide that Ardeer should indeed be protected as a triple SI. But all we can do is hope at this point in time. Thanks very much for listening.